E whatala whatu Samoa I lau tāpo inga, ia po lau mai mo tāpo I fo I le nei tūla. O le whaua wine ne o le tātou polokalame, po le tātou talanoanga o le Malaga, e o se polokalame o mwhai na awinatu o le langalang sua mai o le tātou alaata, o le NUS TV, malana pulenga, ma le o whai ngāruenga. Ia te nane foi, ia le sosoani mai ana I company pe o Eveni, A.H. Carruthers, since 1922. Mai se foi company America Samoa o le Ford Samoa Motors I Tafuna Industrial Park I America Samoa. O le tātou talanoanga la le nei tūla, ia o le talanoanga I winga I fōlaunga. Manatu Samoa malau tāpo inga malau mai mo mai le fōu lau whaafonga. Fōlaunga o le amatanga le o Samoa I tuatu, tele o tausanga. Ia aile I o mai nei vai tau. O le toe la langa ai o se tasi o vaa, ia o tau o le vaa tele, o whaingoina o le ngau alofa. Se tasi o fuafuanga ese le tale whea ngai nei vai tau. Ne mwheu toi whaafoi, ia manatu malangona o mawhauwhau o le tātou o tunu. O tamā, matina, ia mes foi tangata mātutua, ia mes e tūpulanga talvou. I fōlaunga I lungo o le sami, lungo o le vasa, ne mwhaion toi whaonga le ia tātou. Ia vaa o pāpau, ia o vaalo, ia sa whaonga fui whautasi matulula ia so ia. O le vaa tele, o le ngau alofa. Stasi nei o wha moe, ia o le ala tātou talano iai. Le ala ua whaiona a whio mai tātou mālo. Ngawalofa is a reconstruction of Vatele, large canoe, a double-hulled Polynesian voyaging ship canoe. It was built in 2009 by Okeano's Foundation for the Sea. It was given to the Samoa Voyaging Society in 2012 on the occasion of Samoa's 50th anniversary of independence. Le Ainga Folau Samoa, also known as the Samoa Voyaging Society, SVS, promotes traditional navigation and environmental conservation. SVS is both an NGO and non-profit organization. They are the caretaker of Ngawalofa, Samoa's beautiful Vatele. Ngawalofa is captained by Samoan Falfani Brown. Ia, le uwhatasi mai tātou mālo whaalunia le nei tūla, ia o le whionga I le tamaita I o le presidente, ia o le whalaputonga a inga whalau Samoa po le Samoa Voyaging Society, ia le whionga ia leota, Fiti Maula, Dauna, ai ono tangaloa, ia o le tamaita o le presidente nei, ia ma le kapiteni o le tātou ngawalofa, ia o le whionga a Falfani Brown, tamaita I kapiteni lea, ia mai le whianga le whioanga le whango lii, ia maputasi, ia e le tau whailoina le whionga ia leota, ma loso I fua leota, ia tala mai ao ma su mai ma whio mai le tātou talanoanga o le Malaga I nei tūla.
Ia, ma lo lava le soifua maua I lau whionga, ia, whainga tātu I tui o le ainga sanga toi tele. Ia, le ainga sanga uwhalea I, ma lo soifua, ma le nangi mai lau whionga malolo, ia po lau whionga I whata.
Ia, ma lo whaftai.
Tau whaiwha ma lo le anga leo le atua, tato maua le nei awanoa, whaftai fo ia ma le awanoa ma te solia mai ai le nei, lau mua, ia ma watu ai fo ise whaasoa. E tu sai fo I Malaga le Ngawalofa.
Welcome, Falfani, malo soifua, tala mai ao.
Malo soifua, whaftai o ningea vangoa matangofia.
Ia, malo. A mata I lau whionga presidente, o la tonu ale Ngawalofa.
Ia tal tonu e le toi tele nisi whamatalanga e peo le mea sauno e lau whionga e tu sai ma le waa tele. Ia o te loa fo ia o le suesuenga sa whaatino mawhai. Ia o se mea alofa sa tu ina mai, ono le naunau ta inga fo ia o tangata sa whaatupeina le nei whaamue. Ia toi whafangu pe whaailoa ia awalo fo launga o aso la. Ia e pe fo ina sila fia. Ia o le waa neo ngau alofa, o se tasi o waa e fitu pe sa o lea nau sunga Falfani. Ia o le waa e a fo e tama whai e whausia e tu sai ma whausanga o aso la. Ia ma o le waa foi. Ia whaisi tele ona Malaga o Malaga ai. Ia se umatu atu le kapiteni na te awina mai le atoanga. Ia ai o te talitono o toa tele a. Ia a ngai atu I mulinu. Ia e mwhaina tō vai atu le taula mai tai le waa la lea. Le waa lea pi tau tele I fo tulo se me se whangota foi le masanina o ai whai watato.
Te pio vai e oi whai wha, e o liam tu nanga.
Ai tele te isi atu atu e whai ana tila.
Fel fani sau no yelo fiong al kapteni I sau fa popo ye winga ile ba ale te kapteni ya ile ngawolof. La tonu wa le mafuanga nei va ya mis foi lau matafa yoi your role as captain of ngawolof it's a vatili or support that has been revived by this organization and some people who have been helping along, for us to revive the Foloma.
The canoe is there as a platform for educational purposes. It's about having our people come on board and learning a bit more of themselves as well as the environment. A lot of what the programs that we actually offer, one of them is our flagship, which is called the Guardians Program. This is where we actually go to the different districts and we share 5 modules together with our other partners, governmental partners, agencies, and NGOs overseas, where we deliver 5 modules about sustainability, about conservation, about engineering, about coral reefs, mangroves and forestry, trash management, all the good stuff that we talk about with values of our oceans, cleaner backyards, and our own whangua. And the canoe itself is a classroom.
Okay. So it sounds like it's more like enhancing traditional navigational sails and also married up with environmental climate changes and such. Is that what it is all about, apart from being a classroom, as you said?
Yes, it's weaving in a bit more as well with our cultural whapewhangau mai e ka kukua, whangau ngā savili, peor samni, whangau o upu kalaku ufo ia ngau mai e ka kukua, right? So a lot of the values that they came with is something that we weave into our platforms, into our modules, understanding of how we sustain ourselves in our environment, sustain ourselves with making sure that there's more fish for tomorrow. We have healthier fish stocks. We have our resources. We're very privileged to live in Samoa in comparison to the low-lying atolls of the other Pacific Islanders, our neighbors, where we have fresh water, where we have mountains. So it's ensuring that they're still there tomorrow.
So, Aliot, falling on my essay, Politoy out the winner, Malitoy Lalanga Mino, or for long out to Tangata, a little long of Philippines, and ultimately Captain Lita Waya, Ole, for long way, Lunga, my wife, Ole Airfo, Ole Elefanta, will too long of oil. Il fa sauino tonga tongo matulang fa pe o vanga nei o le mana o mia al termine na malam lam lel pa yo tatu tunu ina ia mafayo na maua pe ai ia mafayo na ona yel lang ona fole to te tai ma fo fo tanga te yo e fo la le fa pe na fa ngota fa ngai no o le masina ma le la o filme fa tu le tilo le vam tu lang fa pena.
Ia, o le tūlanga e peo na whaasoa tua i le matou kapiteni. O le awala na o whaonga e nei le waa le vai taimili nei. O nai porkalame ia o mawhaiona matou whaipaanga e manisi. Ina ia maua e se tino i tupe wha tino ai ma wha awawai i anga luenga o le waa. Awa e peo na tāua o le whalea onga. O le whalea onga e o tau ai umawa e ngar si o manga ma le whaale le ngar si o manga. Aile nā tia ai, o le wholau ngā la tō ia. Ia sa ia ele manatu o le toa tele. Ia ele ni tato wa atele. E ngata e tato whautasi, tato tulula. Ia ai mai se fo ia ia mo meo wa halo. Ia ma naiso atau. Ia ai ele ia se manatu fo ile ai tua atu. Sa ia ni wa wholau wa apia sa moa. Peta iane, o loo ia i wha maunga maata. O loo maua i tutonu o tato whale mataanga. O wa atele sa maua mai e tangata siamani. Ia sa tutu, ia wa. O nono winga la, sa iai le to mai. I le vai tau tonu le saine, le au siamani le tasi le awhei wa se lau mantupu.
Whai mua le awhei wau se lau anga i le awhei wa se lau.
Awa walua wa whai ifo, o le inisi o totoe. o iai le to mai le folau pena e tā ua. Le mātauina o le ae o whetū, ia ma le ngoto fo ia o le la, ma le ae o le māsina, ia o le vainga iau ma peau, ma au tatafe, ia e mese fo ia savili, ia mamatangi ia ua whaalau iloa nei le au vaenga le, whaia le talo le tau, ma tau polu, ma le laito e lau, ma tūlanga whapena. Ia le au ngala le o le toe whawhangu mai o le tu ai ngā tō mai. Le e mau atu I tato kapiteni, ia e mese fo ia o le au vā. Ina ia mawhai ona mātau, ma malama fo I tato ngata. I le tā ua o le iloa le sio manga. Pia na esa unoa, na tātala noa te ibi o tea, na esa unoa maulolo o eo sta ngata e nofo lata ane le sami. Ona na winga la, ia e te mātau wina lava ia anga le tau, ia le sua le taima le pe atu, ia me se fo isa tau e sau. Ia le to atele o tupulanga taimi nei, ia wale ia ise me so tanga vo ile la lata ma le sio manga. Ia le au ngala o to inga por kalame whaapia. Alu ese mai lau computer, tu ese lau telefoni. Sau he te oso lunga se waa, mātau whetu ma le lao. Ia ma e wa ailo la ia le matango fie o le sio manga o lo tatu. Au mauai, pe an sau noa ia.
Funny, since 2009, Ngawalofa has sailed more than 40,000 nautical miles. How vital is that for your mission?
The mission of Ngalofa is to ensure that we understand where we're coming from, who we are as people. And we need, and one of the things we highlight, we preserve, is making sure there's something for not our kids, but generations to come for. So ensuring that we're able to cover, we're continuing this space. We're not standing still, and tracking 40,000 Ks, nautical miles, is just a little piece of the pie of how much we want to cover. 40,000 K is probably 2.5 when you're circumnavigating around the world. But that's just enough in my time. So when I do pass on this knowledge, as well as setting things, arranging, I want the next set of group to go beyond that, do more, do better, and not just continuously go. You want to climb up higher to where I was, or where our people were. Yeah.
As navigators.
Yeah.
Well, I think as Fanny has said, it's a way of life. We're very fortunate that we have Fanny Bruin as our captain. And I think with the knowledge that she has, it's been a number of years gaining that knowledge and that understanding. But I think we need to bring ourselves to a place where we challenge our young people to take it on, take on the next voyaging. And I think all I can add to what Fanny has said is this boat has been to how many countries? It's been to San Francisco and back. It's been
quite a few.
Chile.
Yeah. Central America. Australia, Solomon Islands, Aotearoa.
Everywhere.
She's been around.
Yeah. A double hull
canoe,
traveling around the globe.
Yes.
Through different oceans and
in traditional methods and wayfinding.
Being blessed enough where we have done these voyages together with our other voyaging sister societies. In that way, where there's current exchange, there's constant learning with each other, and we set the standards of not only just how we navigate, how we perform, but also safety standards, because that's the utmost importance. We need to make sure we come back.
Ole Ngawalofa, le ufa fonga te saunanga le ngata le presidente ole fala tonga ia po le vanga fo lo lato fatinoina le Samoa Voyaging Society ya mis fo le captain ole Ngawalofa ile ia Fanny ia Bruin ia le taua o le toila langa mai o le fala onga i lungo le sami po le fala onga i lungo le pasa e pe toila langa mai fo longa mtu langa fa pea o lo mana o mia fa wa wa tato fa nga malanga tele nga ngatu pulanga walai loa ele inferno fa nga ina al toila langa mai ni vai tau o se polo kalambe tau tele ia mo fa mo ia mo iol tatu tu no ia mai se fo ia alum fa na fa ia o Samoa ama el malong pupu fa o tatu tal nanga ma tatu malo
Talofa lava Samoa. It is my honor to invite you all to be a part of a special gathering. Join us at the 10th Leasina Samoa Conference on October 30th to the 31st, 2025 at the National University of Samoa. Our theme, Resilience and Innovation in Times of Adversity, reminds us that despite the challenges we face as families, villages, churches and communities, we carry the strength to adapt, rise and endure.
Te whātala whatu Samoa I lau mai mō tāpua I nei tū la whiawhia tātou malolo I nei ia o le waenga o le whionga ia Leota ia Whiti Maula dauna ai ono tangaloa o le presidenti o le ainga whalau Samoa po le Samoa Voyaging Society ia ma le tamaita I Samoa tamaita o le alo le tātou tunu tama whanau Samoa whaalfani Brun ia o le kāteni o le ngawalofa ia ua mawala awanoi tala no ai winga I le whamua mo le ngawalofa. Let's share where did you learn the sailing from?
I was pretty privileged to grow up in a yacht club in American Samoa. So majority of my sailing was taught and learned there. And I was blessed and honored to be under quite a few Poe navigators in the Southern Hemisphere. Pea Potai from the Cook Islands, as well as Jacko Thatcher from Aotearoa. Yeah.
Okay. Was it something that you dream of, or it's just natural ability of being?
No. There was being in this position is challenging. It's not easy, especially when our culture is women are usually in the background, making sure things are run very well.
Not necessarily.
Not all the time, but nowadays we're very vocal. Right? But traditionally, it's the challenge hasn't been much of a challenge now. Especially with how the crew I have, they are not only supporting from the back, they're supporting by the sides and as well as in the front. And we have such an amazing, not only leadership with Leoto, but as well as the crew. We have 4 core crew, which does most of the operations for the Voyaging Society as well as the Auva'a. And we have a komiki fa'afoe where they run the governance of the Voyaging Society.
O ai matafa yoi po a roles ale crew. E alana ofisili. O au te taumuli ale America's Cup. Mai ai la matanga o mantaimi nei. O le la te sauno mai. A leo te mawhawhau ia Peter Burling o Blair Tuke o Rod Dixon o Brad Butterworth o mena lela nafsili. E le whaingo fie le aotawina o le angawaa ma le taleni ma le knowledge of how to sail. So it's very paramount mo aua ia fie loa el tātua tunuu. Ia ma lai mai mo mai. Ai le ngata ile o tangata talavou. Pe whawhiona e o. Whawhiona o tūlanga whapena ngā luenga I whailunga le wa'al te me whōlau ai, me te pu e sea lai.
In our current setup, where with Ngalofa, everybody has a specific role. With our crew, one runs logistics, it's divided up into making sure that everybody understands their role as well as it's given to somebody who's able to pass the role on, who not just understands it, but is able to teach it forward. Everybody has that understanding when they come on board. It's something that's not to be gate kept, but as well as to be taught forward. So we have one person specifically running provisions. We have one person specifically running crew logistics. We have one person specifically running ground operations with anything that has to do with our flagship Guardians program, or even when we are hosting a sister voyaging society.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a big job. You
Yeah.
know, it's actually something that when you come on board, you don't actually, well, maybe you come on board thinking that you're moana, you know, and that you throw your ropes and they go up effortlessly, and you climb up masts and down, you know, with the ease and agility of a monkey. But actually, it's a lot of hard work. And one of the things that Ngawalofa actually went through at the beginning of this year that I would like to mention is we managed to bring in Fealofani to help us refit and repair the boat, because that is one of the key things. Maybe 60% of the work on the boat is to refit, to repair, and to make sure that you maintain.
For the next voyage,
Because if you take care of your boat, then the boat will take care of you on the ocean. And so it pays for your crew to know your boat. So the people who actually are crew members at the moment they've given up everything. You know, they have amazing talents. They could be anywhere else.
Yeah.
But they've chosen to spend this time of their life to be under her captaincy. And this boat came from being a floating, sitting duck to it's now sailing. And that's one of the things we're really proud of right now to say is Ngawalofa is fully functional because of the sponsorship of our donors, but also the grit and the hard work and the courage and determination of a mainly women crew. They're almost all women. So, you know, tamaita.
Well, how much interest created by the Ngawalofa's theme of enhancing traditional sailing?
Actually, surprisingly, quite a lot.
Okay.
We're quite overwhelmed at most times, which is really great. And it's just arranging ourselves to make sure we're able to be receptive of the publicity that we're receiving. And then there's always, it's not enough, right? It's not just for us, it's for everybody. And it's not just for Samoans, it's Samoans here in Samoa, Samoans overseas, as well as our whānau everywhere.
We need more people.
Need more.
So if you're listening in and you're interested, we'll show you later on how you, or maybe we'll just let you know how you can contact Fanny and see how we can get involved.
Ele se ngau matau na le Ngawalofa. Ole asau na nga le ota oil Preston ole wala putonga le waia le Ngawalofa.
Ia, mai mau pe ana su, mai le fionga ia tuatanga loa o ia to savili awa o ia na sa whaingo alta to wa ia o le tūlanga lava o le talatu te ina sila fia. Ia ai o le naunau ta inga ina ua whaingo le wa. Ia o le naunau ta inga ina ia vea masiala e maua tuai ia se sosoani. Se sosoani e maua ile e toe whaafo isia o tū maanga maasani sa whianga ia tātou tangata i whemanga langa inga. A tu ua tala tu o le atu nuu, ia e tasi ale awala sa whiawa iai. E le whiawa i ni whautasi man tulula. Ia a halo vo ilau wa a halo polo papau. I ke le o i tonga po fiti. Ia le ta umai talafa mai na o i tonga, na o i fiti, na fo i mai lea malanga. E ila le manatu fo ilea, a whai o lea na mawhai e tatangata na whaatino il nā taimi ia lea awala o whemalanga inga. O se awala matangofie, mai e te tauna tato toe nau e toe foi i le alofa ma le nau i mea ua mawhai o na whaatino e tato tua. To have that, for me, Ngawalofa means to turn around and look back with love and respect on the ways and amazing ways in which we were able to voyage and communicate. E la langa upu i le nuu le vaenga leo ainga le tai. Whai mai ngau le tila. A whai manono. Ia, a whai rai te le iloa vaenga le vaa pe te le i vaai mua se tila. E whawhena e malama le nā wha langa upu. Aia e sira le Ngawalofa. E lua tila le Ngawalofa. A whaila sa i el tato ngangana ma tato nganuu lea langa upu e awhi uma wa e ngawi tila i manono e lua mele a whaali mai nā mua o ainga le tai o le ainga e whauwa
Mali,
Lona lua. E te tau ona i se va ai se tila. E fa o ngā ele ala ngā upu lea. Ia, e te le na ula le vaenga le te au wau te tanga wha ingoa le va. O te rei wha ingoa ia ngā alofa. I think the boat grows on you, and you have to let it grow on you so that you receive that perspective. E le o se waa na o tangata e o tataa ai pe ta whawhau ai. Wai ele manatu hoi lea. I o le vaenga le au wau. I o le au kakaa ngā o pia lawa. Whio ai tataa lawa mai whao ngā lewa. Lea i o le nau ta inga ina ia toe foi. I se vaenga matango fie. Ma se tūlanga mao ai. Nā iai o tātou tangata ma tangata o le Pasifika. Ia ngau alofa toe foi. E ui ai lawa sawa ia mo mea wa awhi taimi nei. It's a totally different feeling when you're on the boat. I invite you to come on board.
I will.
Come on board and experience a simplicity of life.
Ole, whawhani ole, a whapelela tā pena le ngau alofa Ole Malaga I Honolulu po Hawaii. E tō whia le au waa e mana o mia I le vālea, mo Ole Malaga pe whape.
Mo le saunga le mua le waa ma le au waa e suongo.
Suongo
te. Suongo foi mo e ngā lai lunga le waa. E o whainga la ia o le waa. E vai whaawaki foi alele. Me kusape, e leise savili, malo sikele savili, e kakauanga alunga I luma le waa. Ia e whaila sifi whai au ia le au waa. Ia 3 hours on, e pulela ia le kaukai wheku. Pe whawhewheanga whakulanga le sifi, whawhewheanga whakulanga le waki. Pe koru I kula e ngā lulu e kangalunga I luma le waa, ongo I kula malolo ai. So you have 3 hours on, 6 hours off, 3 hours on, 6 hours off. Or you have, that then means you have a rotational. You're on a different time of the day all the time. And it kind of messes up with your inner clock. So another way is to go 4 hours on, 8 hours off. And you have a fixed time, which then makes it steady, and people are able to catch up on their sleep, but to catch up on their rest. Because you're out in the elements, sun, rain, wind, waves, loud, and it's a lot more where the crew are able to adjust to their inner clock as well as the time.
While we're on that voyage, any time if I'm gonna tele any whawhita uli peo ni ngalu te tele, tūlanga whapena, ono whawatu I ai, I ele whōlaunga tūlanga whapena.
Yes, there is. A lot about voyages that we do partake in is like we have to anticipate all this. So by doing this, we weather watch. Before we actually commit to a voyage, we check how the weather is. We check how the systems are planning ahead. The systems are moving in a way where it doesn't work for the safety of the crew, safety of the va'a. On the compasses. So because we're a certified and regulated vessel, yes, you have to have all these things on board, modern navigational tools on board, because that's the rules. Otherwise, when we do traditional navigation along the route, we can cut off where we say the Tau Taifa 2 runs this, as well as the crew, and only one person runs the modern navigational tools, which includes the chart work, the GPS, the compass, and only that person is designated to look after that.
Ole whōlaunga le ngawalofa I ole whaleaonga I lunga le pasa. Leot, ole whaleaonga I lunga le sani.
Whaleaonga mo le ola.
Ioi, wā le e tospulu ono. O lai malanga. A lai e a onga I te mine whatinonga o fuanga pe na sāno le te matai kapten. I le tofual tangata msina ia pita whainga. Ie whasolo fo I le lato o ai le tu sa po le leo po le o le vai le tu ma le me ani mai matangi tu na pena ma en ma lo pu fa gota ta nova ya ma le fiona ya Presidente ia Leota, Fiti Maula, Dona ai ono tangaloa, Presidente o lainga whalau Samoa. Samoa Voice Society, ia ma whea whani, Brown o kapteni o lau lofa, ia ua tātou mauna whareini.
A whio mai matala mai a ao tātou mui mawina le whanatanga a le mea sina se fulu. A so tole se fulu ma le tole se fulu tasi o ke topa lua o lua lima i le Universite ao ao o Samoa. O le au tu o le whanatanga e te tele a te senga ai mātua i le o. O lo whea ngai pia i tātou ma lui tau ese i a inga, no e ka le sia, ai mai se o whaafitau li ese i Samoa nei. A whio mai, su mai, tala mai a au tātou whaasoa, mo se Samoa manuia.
Se whātala whātu Samoa i lau mai mau tāpoi. O le tātou tala noanga, o le ngawalofa, o le Presidente, ia o le lātou wainga lea o lātou lainga whalau Samoa, ia po le Samoa Voice Society. Ia ai le ngatu fwoi lea o le kapteni o le ngawalofa. O fuafuanga umanei Samoa, wa alam whaiana mawala awano e tala noai, no le anga lei mai e veni, I.H. Carruthers since 1922. Ia ma le tātou company America Samoa, le Ford Samoa Motors, i tāwhuna America Samoa. Lau whionga tamai le Presidente, o le ale, o hani fuafuanga luna mamau. Ia, i le tūlanga fwoi lea, e sel tāua, ia wai, po haina toi amataina, le nei, whaamoe moe lea, o toi mwhaeuna, toi whausia le ngau walofa, ia, o le luafe ma le iwa. O hani fuafuanga luna mamau, ia i, ale tau whalapatonga, ia po le tau tino foi mo le anga i lumo le whamoe moe nei i le wawai atu lea o kapiteni ia le tamai tai Samoa le tātou waa lea ia e le ngata lina a o alo ma whanau tam whanau Samoa o lo i enga waa mataleni e fia o tau ina i vea maseila e pe vea foi mtangata fo lau i lungo le waa.
Ia, aftai lava o te talitonu e tele fo launga le waa nei ua whai i isi vaenga laulangi pēnu tā ua. Ia ua sia fo ia no ese tutono Pasifika. Tele fo ipo kalame ua afia i tūlanga fo ia o le vainga si o le tau. Ia mal faa lawilo aina fo ile o le tūlanga o le faa le tono o le tatou ngātai whale. Ia pe ilar po kalame le sao ai o le Pifsi Solomon Islands. Enta fatoa mai atalu ai nei ia. Ia le sa esa mato sui le sa luai lunga le vaa. Ia ai mo le albaluma mao la tau ia mo le tatou ainga fo lau i Samoa. O le nau ta inga la ngau alofa ina ia wawa ai uma ia alo mawhanau Samoa i le waan nei. Ia hafe le malanga le ngau alofa mawhaatanga ina e ali ima whai pule o nuta i tasi malalafanga. Le ulu whale atu le waa pe ofi atu foi i awa ese o nuta i tasi. Ina ia mo se awa noe wha maasani. Whaalau i loa ma tuu atu i whanau o se tasi lea o mea sina. O se tasi nei o vaenga o whaasino manga. Ia, e tatau ona e nofongo fia ai. Ia, ma watu ai fwele walau lia. Pe te fia su mai ia o tau ai oe. Ia, o tūranga na. Isi lima tau sanga. Ua tua tele le au waa mai i vaenga ese o Samoa. E lena o poutasi ma si umu ma le whangoali.
Ia, ina o whalwhani o le ale sota inga fo ile matupulanga talo vo i taimi ele e tau te awhia i peila o le tulanga le nanga i ala alfanga manu ia mas foi la tu ai potasi ia e ale sota inga oe o le tamai tai Samoa o kapiteni matangata talo vo e fia i le nei foi tu inga taleni manga va e vea nisi o le auwa.
One of the things we do on the canoe is ensuring that these programs we do are actually career paths, as well as what we teach and we induct with our crew as well, that this is a career path if you want to go into different types of conservation, or if you want to continue into being somewhere where you're an educator with being a trainer on board, sailing vessels, or even master divers or oceanographers, biologists, marine biologists. There's so many things in these modules, like mentioned in our flagship program, The Guardians. This is where we're able to give them a stepping stone where they're able to go forward even further. If they would like to choose a career path of actually being a voyager, sailing, then this is something we're able to align for them and open doors for them along the way as well.
Is it a trend now with most of the Ngawalofa crew members are female, girls, and now I'm not, you know, I don't like to highlight the fact that about the gender race and that sort of thing. I'm just very interesting because of the Maitai.
No, I guess at the moment there's just a lot more interest with the women being on board as well as they're a lot more receptive to knowing what needs to get being done. We get things done.
Yeah, exactly. I think the other thing that's really important to keep in mind with a boat like this is the maintenance. And that's where we definitely need the strength of the men, because although we get things done, you know, there's certain things that we can't do, and we acknowledge that with grace, but we also are putting a call out to any young men who are interested, who have strength and have the capacity to be disciplined. I think a lot of people think sailing is not disciplined, and they think that it's just a bunch of happy-go-lucky people who are just wanting to go out and sail and have a good time. You need to be disciplined. You heard about the watches that she was talking about, you know, 4 hours on and, you know, 8 hours off, or 3 hours on and 6 hours off. And to live with each other on a boat is another big learning lesson. You know, it's okay when you're working on land, you can leave and go to your own home, but once you're on a boat in the middle of nowhere, you really do have to get along, and you do have to be disciplined and have to learn how to listen to whoever is the captain. E foi le meo le whaatulanga ngā le wā, e wai lua ia vaenga, ia le ama, le tū ama ma le tū mātau. Ia, e la le taritonunga, le tū ama ia o tamaitai, o le tū mātau. O ali, le ire alanga au foi le tātou, a le sau ama, wha le konga, wai whaparengi le ama ia le wā. Ia, o le sootanga la le soa ia I tū e lua le wā, ia o I ato le wā. Ia, e la le taritonunga, e le sipa, le lamanga, e pāleni le lei, e tutusa le lei, le twaata o todio, o le aonga ma le sawa tamaitai, ma le sawa ali.
Would you like to add on that?
No, that's literally it. The fact that it's not just the physical strength, it's also the balance. In everything we do, there's always balance. In our multi-dimensional culture that we live in today, there's always balance, and the balance is men and women.
The Hawaiians, the Tahitians, the Cook Islanders, the
Fijians.
I'm more leaning to the Polynesian and the Maoris. Is that something that, because it sounds like, Falfani, you're very attached to other Polynesian, like, is it something a natural happen, or is it because of tātou indigenous people pe o tangata fuila?
It's funny you state it like that, because I actually look at things different. Because when our people came, our ancestors came, kiming au mai e kakukua, e lengi lainga, ngā vai e Pasifika, leng por kānka poring sia, leng kānka meleng sia, leng kānka makangi sia, it was just one group. A mga ngā o lau whiki, pe lau konga whia o e whau mai ngi waa, e o I Samoa, e mai ia kānka whau waa, e mai foi ia la au mai whangaloa, from the Atua side, right? To build their canoes. And if they wanted to, I'm going to go a little bit extreme now. If they wanted to receive a malofie, they would go to Samoa. So there are no barriers on the Pacific. It was when the Western concept with the Western missionaries as well as the explorers that came into Samoa, into our waters, into the Pacific, they started making these barriers for us. So if you see Solomon Islands, it's actually a huge, long group, and they're all different colors of the rainbow there. And they all considered the outliers on the east,
Different
they
dialects.
look like us. Their dialects are similar to us. But the guys up in the northern group, they sound like the guys from Micronesia. They even look like the people from Micronesia and from PNG. The people in the south, they look like the people from Vanuatu. So there were no borders, there were no lines, you know. And
there was no limits because we sailed in boats.
yeah,
You know, us sailing in boats is like nowadays, you know, grabbing your car keys, reversing your car and going to your destination. For us, it was put the boat out, but with provisions, with keeping an eye on the tide and the tides and also the winds. And I think that's something that is lost now.
Yeah.
There's no planning, there's no circumspect navigation and deliberation, which our young people need. Our young people need discipline. They need to be planners. They need to be, you know, have goals and to move forward in their Malanga.
Yeah, I have to ask this, Falfani, and even you can also contribute. How vital and important Tuatanga Loa, Joseph Annandale's contribution to all this?
He's a legend. He's a legend. These guys call him Uncle Joe. I'm more respectful.
this is when you're from the village, and especially his village, and you kaukua, and you're still with that understanding that the kaosavili of your village, your district, yeah. And he can be very generous and also very stern. Kwakangaloa, it was his partnership, his understanding, his alofa, which brought the canoe about. Not only that, with like-minded people, co-founded Ainga Folau Samoa, and brought this vision into a reality where the canoe is a platform for ensuring their sustainability, ensuring that our values, our cultural values, are being held as well.
Now, what would you say to the young people out there, Samoan out there, who would like to be part of this in terms of come and learn not only sailing but also the heritage, environmental? You did mention the mangroves and corals and that sort of thing. What would you say to our young people, a part of the
What would I say to younger people than me that to be part of this?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know the right words to let them know of how to join this, because it's a different generation grab. Though I will say this, understanding where you want to be for tomorrow is how you're going to be disciplined now. It's, as Leota made mention, a lot of this is about inner strength. It's mental strength. And a lot of it is about your culture.
Heritage and your identity. Yeah. Lava no mulmuli to inatu. No. Fiona Tangaloa, yeah, face out, sound on fire. Ne family more tau. Yeah, Missy Fooling out when tau eyeing of Folau Samo, but Samo Voyaging Society. Yeah, one for no seal field that to know. The money lava, ele falling over of Fafong. I left to a Fafong, ya in a told by your dad to know. Low film, or lower field, if I'm with my.
Yeah. Faftaila baila fiona. Mila to Famololo, yeah. Whengata fo ia le tuitui, le ainga sa ngawhalei. Ia o le ainga o tamaitai a le i. O mea naua wawe le tali atu o maulolo e tū le tila tamaitai I wholaunga. Whaftai tele lava mo le avanoa. Whaftai tele lava mo le avanoa e whaataltala noa e fōi. ia se tūlanga e whaapupula atili, ia le ngaluenga o loo tamawhai, ia le ainga folau ma le vaalenga o lofa. E whai se por kalame lu i tau wai foi ia le tupulanga whaiai. E se tāua, awa o le tūlanga lewa e tātou taimi nei ua tātou mana na o i mea. We become very materialistic. And when you go on the boat, things are simplified. They really are, right down to how many clothes you take on board and what you're going to eat and who you're going to actually associate with. You don't have room for egos on the boat. E se tāua, o le tūlanga foi le li o wha le ainga. Mena leina wha ingo le ainga folau. O le ainga e hele matai. E ie fo ia le malo sile nu e sa tamaitai. E whanau lalovaua. And that is our hope. Ia ni whanau lalovaua. E whaaua wale nei ngaluenga. O le mea pita isili nana tāua. Maua ni se leni mai tangata e whaatupe e ngaluenga le vaa. Ia o se awala leina e whaongaina le vaa mo nisi tu pe o le whainga o le climate change ma me whapena. Le naunau ta inga lawa le vaa. Ina ia toi whaafo isia lana lalelei. Ia ma le atoanga i le mafutanga mo na tangata. E pe ona tau mawhai fo isi ainga fo lau Pasifika. E whaatino mo i lato. And that's one thing, we are part of the big Pacific voyaging society. We belong and have this great heritage where we own the blue continent, Le Alai Moana. It belongs to us, as was stated, without divisions.
Aftai, sa mo malau ta boinga e o tātou talanoanga lea, le ngau alofa, e le utou whaafonga. Le isi au ngā o le nei whaasoa, e ma le whiunga tamaitai Prestene, e mas foi le tamaitai Kapiteni, e o Falfani Brun, e mo alam whanau, e mas e lava ia alam whanau o lo manatu, o lo iaianga waa mataleni, e mawhai, o na whaliliu ini ngā luenga o lumana, leo sao no le tamaitai Kapiteni o le tele o ngā luenga. Pena e veo e mas tangata e koleni ina, mas e trainer o nei whaenga uma. Stangata e mwhaninga lue na silfia ia vaenga ese i lunga o le vasa, to ngā tongo, o ambu mitulanga whapena, e le masini o le tele o anga waa ese. Ia mataleni ese. Mawani ngā luenga mo le lumana e. Ona o le ngau alofa, ma le toila langa ina o le nei wha moe mo sa moa a tai au. Tātou talanoanga le sa moa, wha amanuia tele le tua le tātou tunu. Ia alofangia le tua ia o tātou ainga. Ia mese fwoi wha moe. Mana o mia ni sponsors. These people are, if you have extra dollars spare, they need companies and private sector, the government, to chip in and then to support their cause. No alofa, it's Samoan boat o le vatele. Yeah, so they mai I lato whalaputonga, ainga whalau Samoa po le Samoa Voyaging Society. Ia te nani foi le whionga ia tuatanga loa, Joseph Annandale, ia o lo tau la mua le nei wha moe. Ia ai maise lava, ia o lo whaanga ina le tele ona vaenga SS o lona soifua, mes foi lona no whaanga, ia mo le nei wha moe o le tātou ngawalofa, ia ma maua nisi Kapiteni tamaitai, po li foi, ia pe foi o tamaitai o Falfani Brun, ia e Kapiteni ina le tātou wā. Manu e tele sa mola o tāpoinga, whaftai o maulolo whata Wellington e Malifa.